All right, today we're going to be chasing perch, but before we really get into the fishing, I want to go through our arsenal that we're going to use. And there's 3 or 4 different things that I tend to really stick with when I'm chasing perch, and most of the time it's a spoon tipped with a minnow head. This is a little Swedish pimple, but as you're fishing these, don't be scared to go up in size. People tend to micro everything with a perch, and sometimes when the fish are really aggressive, the bigger the bait, the better, and the more fish you're going to catch. But if you're dealing with what we're dealing with right now, we're getting started. It's a little slow. We're kind of searching. We're looking. A lot of times, I'll change to a jig and wrap, get that going. That's got a lot of action just to try to attract something in, bring them in so I can even see if there's fish in our area. And last, I'll go with something with a rattle, like a buckshot rattle spoon from Northland. It's got a lot of rattles, makes a lot of noise, attracts a lot of fish. So that's going to be our main arsenal today. I'll also set up a bobber while I'm out here. And with a bobber, I'll go just with a teardrop and I'll tip it with a minnow. And the reason I run a bobber along with a jig is you don't know if the fish are neutral or if they're active. Bobber will generally pick up the very neutral fish, jig the very active fish. So if you're only getting bites on a bobber, you know I got to slow everything down, maybe even put 2 bobbers down because they're so neutral. If everything's coming on a jig, you need to switch it up, go to something really aggressive, and you'll catch more fish. But this is going to be our arsenal today. Now we'll see if we can find them. As an angler, you tend to surround yourself with friends that fish. Well, my friend Rad, sitting in that shack right there, told me to drill right here. I've caught nothing. Rad's catching fish. I need to find new friends. Well, we repositioned, got our new holes drilled, and we've already marked one, but he didn't bite. But it's a good sign. There's at least activity down there. Oh, he hit it. All right, I'm 0 for 3 in the last 10 minutes. There's another one down there. It's a good one too. Oh, check that out. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. All of that and I lost him in the hole. He fell off and like Superman'd into the hole. It's not by any form or fashion a really good bite. It's tough, and that's okay. That's fishing sometimes. But we finally started getting bit when I switched to these Haley spoons. The issue is I'm having a hard time hooking on the Haley spoon. I'm missing a lot of fish. So I thought, well, I'm going to switch to a similar forage minnow and give that a try, because it's got a big treble on it. And lo and behold, first 2 came up, didn't touch it. Went back to the Haley spoon, started getting bit. So I had this on the bobber with a live minnow, which for neutral fish should be the ticket, but it wasn't. So then I put a Haley spoon on the bobber with just a minnow head. And every once in a while I'm moving it. Sure enough, got bit on it, but as you saw, he took off and went back home. So we'll keep trying. Oh, I think I finally got a good one. No diving back down the hole. Holy battle-scarred perch. Whoa, you weren't coming off anytime soon. Look at that thing is beat up. Half his fin's gone. Someone tried making him dinner, but we finally got one that I'd call a keeper for the frying pan. But I'm going to end the day with this one, and let me put him in the bucket. And it's been one of those days where, you know, everybody thinks it's so easy to go out and catch fish all the time. And some days it's a struggle. Today was a struggle to catch fish. We got out here, first spot we didn't mark anything, second spot we didn't mark anything, third spot we finally started marking. Well, then they wouldn't bite. You could get them to come up on the spoon I was using, and that was it. So then we had to start switching lures. And we had to start really getting down the technique and the lure that they were going to bite. And finally, we got down to this spoon, and with this spoon, we finally started getting them to bite. So I mean, today was one of those days where you hear people say they fine-tune their technique. Today was one of those days where if you didn't change up and try to figure out what was going to make them bite, you weren't going to catch anything today. So I'm real happy with the number we caught. And with that, it's time to pack up, go home and have dinner.